From San Diego.
Shalom from Jerusalem. This is Uriel, Independent News, Jerusalem, Israel. Ma'am, what do you think about the nation of Israel as a whole?
Honestly, I think that Israel is an amazing country with a lot of different types of people from all over the world, and I think everybody has a very big opportunity to live in a land where they feel at home, where they feel comfortable, where they feel safe. And I think that people who feel that Israel is very dangerous and very anti-Semitic, you should just come to Israel and see the life that everybody lives and see how wrong they are. And that I really feel like Israel helps people to see that Israel is not a dangerous place.
You mentioned danger. The thing that I want to ask you now, since you mentioned danger, the so-called Palestinians want the entire nation of Israel. What do you think about that?
Honestly, I feel that although Arabs feel that Israel should not exist and Israel should become all theirs, I think it's kind of disgusting, because I think that they are jealous that people don't like what they do, and so they feel like maybe if we take all of Israel, people will look at us and see how powerful we are, and that people will feel that Israel should not exist at all. So if Jewish people aren't that courageous, if Jewish people don't want a land, that they'll just give it to us. And so I feel that a lot of the Arabs, nowadays, like all the anti-Semitic going on, and also what happened with the Twin Towers. Look at that. I mean, these stupid animals want to build a mosque where 9/11 happened. I mean, what's up with that? And so I feel that ever since Israel became a state in 1948, that God promised the Jewish people a homeland, and I think that it would just be very unreasonable and unsatisfactory that the Arabs would want to steal that away from us.
But even so, 1948, May 15th, we were declared a nation. In our Torah basically states thousands of years ago Hashem gave the land to the Jews. Yet I've read the Quran, and I don't see anything where in the Quran mentions Jerusalem, Israel, or for that matter, so-called Palestine in the so-called Quran. And yet they want the destruction of us Jews. What do you think about that as a whole?
I think basically the whole thing as a whole, I think it just has to deal with a lot of jealousy, because all it is a lot of anti-Semitic, and I think that the kids, the parents of the kids that, blow themselves up and, they want to hurt us so badly, there has to be a good reason for that. And I think, it's possibly the parents' fault, because possibly the parents, the parents of these parents, think that if they have their kids blow up other people, then, they'll feel all that much more powerful, and that, I feel like just all this hatred towards each other is not going to get anywhere.
But they have even denied the 6 million Jews that were tortured, maimed, and killed during the Holocaust. And how would I teach my children that denial, knowing history? So history basically is there, but yet these so-called Palestinians or so-called Islamic extremists basically deny our total existence.
So I think maybe people that have kids that want to teach them the right way to live and the right way of being. It's not even just being about. It's not even about being Jewish. It's about it's about being, knowing what's right and what's wrong, knowing what you believe is the right thing, is the right way to believe, and knowing that what these Arabs are doing about blowing people up is not the right way of living. And yeah, I don't know if it says anything about in the Quran that Israel should be a country and Israel should not exist. But I do believe that people should know the right way to be, and parents of kids should tell their kids, that there is and always will be a state of Israel, and that Jewish people do belong in the state of Israel, and that they should just learn not to be afraid, because as they say that there's this thing called emunah, which is belief, and that people should have faith that everything that Hashem does is for the best. And I don't know if it's also, look at the Christians. The Christians have one God. I mean, they're also atheists and whatnot, but I have to also believe that these Christians also have a faith that they don't believe blowing people up. They don't, they have a very strong sense of morality that these Arabs don't have.
Now, one final thought. Would you tell the American Jews living in diaspora to hurry up and make Aliyah?
So I feel like that's a very difficult question. Although I feel, as an American myself who have made Aliyah, a couple years ago, I do feel like it's very important to make Aliyah. But I also do feel that it's very important to get a good education, to, see where you want to go with your own life, and to, learn to know who you want to be when you get to Israel. Because making Aliyah is not so simple. It's very hard, and it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of stability that when you get to Israel, you need to know what kind of job you want. You need to know where you're going with your life, so you don't end up on the street. Because when people make Aliyah, people think that it's one big joke, when really it's not. It's a very serious thing. It's it's an amazing, incredible thing that people should do, and people that should come back to Israel, because people do belong in Israel. But to make Aliyah, you should realize what you're doing, what you're risking, how you're going on with your life, and that when you make that move, whenever that might be, it should be because you want it. It shouldn't also because what your parents want, but you should make sure you're doing it for the right reasons.
This is Real Independent News, Yerushalayim, Israel. Shalom.